I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crowd from seeing to believing. Got a taste for blood and my tongue keeps bleeding. From the words I spit, so sharp, so freezing. So cold, behold, frostbite they feeling. I could tear you apart or I could go heal them. Don't believe in fate, don't believe in ceilings. I just need a taste and my mind starts peeling. I don't pace myself, I grind on kneeling. Got lust for change, I just love the feeling. I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. And I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. Cause I'ma live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I don't lie at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll soon be winning. I live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I don't lie at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll soon be winning. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon.
Hey guys, what's going on? This is Mr. Riley coming to you live from the West Coast, the best coast, the West Side. Thank you for being here for another episode of This Week in Pali Football. I have Coach Dylan Smith with me. The Dolphins, they just keep doing what they do. They are 9-0 on the season. Big win over Hamilton this past weekend. So tonight we'll break down that game. And then also we'll highlight some of the standout players and just recap some of the stats. We'll check in on our JV squad, and we'll preview this week's matchup against Fairfax High School, which the game is on Thursday, and it's at SoFi at 6 o'clock. So we'll talk about all that in a moment, but if you're watching right now, go ahead and drop some comments in the chat, and if you're watching the replay, go ahead and hit replay squad. That way we know that you have at least watched the video and wanted to interact if you were watching live. So shout out to the Dolphins, and actually a shout out to the low-key, I'm watching the Dodgers game. It's 5-5 against Toronto in the top of the 8th. But so I'm going to try not to get too excited. I'm going to try to stay on point and on focus with Coach Dylan Smith tonight. So let's go ahead without further ado. Hey, Coach, what's going on, sir? How you feeling?
Feeling good. How are you doing?
Man, we're doing great. Congratulations on your win. You're 9-0. You know, I know that was super nice. I mean, your score, well, 46-30. You guys, y'all ain't shying away from scoring. Y'all know how to do what you do with the rock, man. So congratulations. Before we begin tonight, though, we got to talk about our football teams. I mean, we don't have to, but you know. So,
luckily, mine didn't play yesterday.
Man, listen,
must needed a bye.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was super nice. You know, I was like, okay, we could get a win against the Broncos. Yeah, the defense didn't show up. The offense kind of did, but the defense, man, somebody's close to getting fired over there. I think
anything bad that happens in Jerry world, I'm okay with.
You're okay.
They can fire whoever they want. I feel like Stephen A. Smith when he smokes a cigar and has a cowboy hat and walking around laughing out. That's the only time I like Stephen A. Smith.
Just when he can talk about the Cowboys, man. That's jacked up, Coach. Exactly. That's jacked up. Yeah, somebody not doing their job. So I don't know who it is because Dak, you know, usually they like to hang it on Dak. Oh, Dak, you know, he didn't do X, Y, and Z. You know, Dak is playing pretty nice this season.
Yeah.
But the defense, they stinking, man. Well, I'm glad you guys have a bye week.
Yeah, we needed it, and that last game against the Chiefs was horrible. So we need two buys in a row, so we can figure whatever we need to figure out. But hopefully, we get back on track next week
Yeah.
because second half of the season we need something.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's so crazy to think that we're almost halfway through the season, man. I mean, it's what, November? So,
Yeah.
about 8 more weeks of football. And, it's going to be crazy just to think, that it's almost over. So, yeah. All right, let's go ahead and hop into tonight's conversation, man. So I got some stats for you, and I'm sure you probably already know them. Jack Thomas, 27 of 41, 396 yards, 7 TDs. DeMar DeZern, 10 receptions, 198 yards, 4 touchdowns, 291 all-purpose. 26 first downs, 76 plays, 5 penalties for 35 yards, which is pretty nice. Man, what were your overall thoughts on how the team executed, especially to stay undefeated? It's okay. You go ahead and handle that.
My laptop was gonna die. Sorry about that.
Oh, no, you good.
No, I heard the question. No, I was happy with how we bounced back this week against Hamilton. Excuse me. We didn't have a good showing against Uni, and we struggled a lot. And Uni did a great job, keeping us in front of them and making tackles. But I thought this week was a much more organized practice, especially on the offensive side. And I think we really exploited their defense. We came in knowing exactly what they were going to do and how we want to beat it. And Jack executed very well. I love the time of possession. I don't care if you have the best defense or the worst defense. Anytime you can keep your defense off the field as much as possible, the other team can't score points. So, I thought we did a great job controlling the game, controlling the tempo. We played fast when we needed to. We slowed down when we needed to. And it was great to see Matthias and Mikey get some catches. Matthias had 2 touchdowns. Super proud of how he's handled himself this year and always being ready when he's called upon. And Mikey hasn't got much play this year. He's come along the last couple of weeks with more playing time. He didn't get a catch against Uni, but he had, I think, 3 catches for 40 yards, 42 yards, something like that, against Hamilton. So really proud of how he stepped up as well. And even when we needed, when Damari and Malachi recovered, he's that third guy right now with Harrison out who we really need to make plays, and he did as well. So I thought it was, offensively it was a well-rounded game. I thought the line blocked the best they did all year, pass blocking, but no sacks. And then, but Deveron, I think he had 50 yards rushing. He could, he ran the ball well. His vision was, really good Friday night. So I thought overall offensively was fantastic. And then defensively, I thought that was one of our best games as well. We only gave up 3 points in the first half. One of those points was special teams. So, we're tackling better. We're in our spots. Give up a couple long throws, but I think that's something that can be fixed. But as long as we're in the right spots, we're making the right plays, making tackles the way we're supposed to. I think we're finally starting to see all phases. Well, at least two of the 3 phases. Offense and defense come together.
Okay, Coach. That's you answered all my questions. Good night.
Sorry.
No, you good. I mean, literally. My next question was about Jack. Had an incredible night, 400 yards. I mean, I don't think he's had that high in terms of yardage and touchdowns on the same night. 400 yards, 7 touchdowns. You've already talked about, and we've talked about it ad nauseum. What really impressed you? Especially from a guy who wasn't there. I was absent. What impressed you about his performance?
I just thought he controlled the game well, controlled the offense. Like I said, our tempo was fast when it needed to be. It slowed down when we needed to. I thought he kept kept the run plays when he needed to. He
Mm-hmm.
checked out when he needed to. He wasn't forcing anything. And when he plays within himself and within the offense, he's unstoppable. Early on, I thought there was times he was trying to force the pass a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
but I think over the last few weeks, he's starting to see, okay, let's run the ball, and then when the pass is there, or when they're trying to stop the run, that's now we can kind of open up the pass. And I thought Friday he did a perfect job of that. Handing the ball off when he needed to,
Mm-hmm.
checking out when he needed to, run the RPOs when he needed to. There was times where I thought he was going to pull it and pass it, and he handed it off. So I think he's starting to understand, what the coaches want and how it opens up him passing the ball a little bit more. And there's wide open spaces, there's angles he can get now by running the ball a little bit more and controlling the game better.
Yeah. So let me go ahead and put up some of the stats that I was talking about at the top of the show. Again, total plays, first downs, penalties, penalty yards, time of possession. I mean, not only, and here's his stat line right here. You can see it. Just super nice. 7 touchdowns. Man, longest was 49. I mean, and then having those athletes like DeMar DeZern, he was unstoppable. 291 total yards, 4 big scores. How big of a weapon has, DeMar been for the offense? I mean, he's Mr. Touchdown playmaker, right? I mean, he's doing his thing all across the board. So again, just kind of, if you don't mind, discussing how big of a weapon he, has been or was in that particular game.
Yeah, I mean, he's the type of player that, anytime he touches the ball, he can go for 6, any play. I can call a screen, and I think he's probably scored on more screens than I've seen anybody score. So, I mean, he can score on screens, he scored on the reverse, he scored on long passes, he scored on short throws. Anytime we call his number, he's capable of getting in the end zone. So it really puts pressure on the defense. For about 3 or 4 games in a row, they were double teaming him, and he didn't struggle, but he they were really trying to take him away, and opened up for other guys. So even without the ball in his hands, he's dangerous because he demands a double team, and it opens up plays for somebody like Malachi, for Go, Harrison when he's playing receiver. So it doesn't, as long as he's on the field, he's dangerous.
Yeah. Speaking of Malachi, he chipped in with 126 all-purpose yards. How does his versatility help your offense stay in rhythm?
Yeah, I mean, with Harrison out, Harrison's our running back and receiver, so we need another guy to kind of step into that role. And we gave a reverse to Malachi. He put his foot in the ground and made a couple moves and ran for 44 yards. So he's an athlete. He's shifty. He can run routes. He can run reverses. So it just gives us another player, almost like Damari, where anytime he touches the ball, he's dangerous, and you can't double team both guys because now
Right.
we can we can run up the middle, or
Yeah.
we got a third guy who can catch the ball. So
Yeah.
as long as they're double teaming Damari and you putting Malachi 1-on-1, I don't think there's anybody in the city that can cover Malachi 1-on-1. So he's dynamic. We have a couple other things brewing this week for him. So just anytime you can get your playmakers the ball quick or in the on the perimeter and just let them make plays, it's going to help our offense even more.
Yeah, and I was also excited to see Matias get into the end zone. And so I kind of chuckled when I saw this because at first I was like, M. Hernandez, who is M. Hernandez, right? And I was like, oh, that's Matias. And I was like, okay, 3 receptions, 14 yards, but he got 2 touchdowns. I'm like, yes. I was super excited when I saw that because, I would have liked to see him a little bit more involved in the offense during the course of the season, but I know, him coming back over from where he was, having to change the position, there was some adjustment that needed to be made, but because of his height, I'm glad that he was able to get into the end zone and get those 3 catches, or 3 catches, and 2 of them were touchdowns. And you kind of talked about him earlier at the top of the show, so I was super excited for him. because I know he's been putting in work, and he's wanting to hop on the field and contribute any way he can. So I was super excited when I saw that.
Yeah, like I said, sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Just proud of Matthias, and it's hard because you have Damari, you have Malachi, you have Harrison, even Go stepping up, and then you have to run the ball with with Deveron. So it's hard to get the tight ends involved in the passing game, and he's been patient all year long. He's not one to complain and say I want the ball or anything. He just when his number's called, he's ready. And the last couple of weeks with a lot of injuries, he's had to do more. And Jack found him. He's 6'6" or 6'7", whatever. And Jack found him in the back of the end zone a couple of times. So when he came off the field, I told him I was super proud of him. And he's a kid with a great attitude. He's been through a lot these last 9 months. So he long snaps for us. He just type of kid. And he came to me and said, "Coach, I'll do whatever I want. I can for this program." And that's what he's done. So I was super happy to see him score at least 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, that was super nice. And then defensively, you got 7 players with at least 6 tackles. And then what does that say about your unit's pursuit and teamwork? Because online, folks are always saying something about the defense and need to tighten up, especially at the beginning of the season. But, based on what you did last week, you held Uni to, it was a low-scoring game. And, you guys were against Venice. You guys did what you needed to do at the right time against Venice. So, you guys are coming along. But, again, what does it say about your unit's pursuits and the teamwork that they have as a defensive unit?
We emphasize tackling. We do tackling every single day now. Before, during the season, we were trying to save, bodies, and we didn't do as much tackling. We would do maybe tackling once or twice a week, but now we've bumped it up to 3 days a week, no matter what. Just nothing strenuous, just kind of 5-10 yards away, angle tackling, getting better angles on tackles. So we've really emphasized more tackling and proper tackling. So you kind of see that, and also playing faster. Sometimes we get into a Thursday practice and it's pregame and we kind of go half speed, but we've emphasized, it doesn't matter what we're doing. We need to go full speed. We need to play game speed. And I thought we played a lot faster, especially in the first half on Friday against Hamilton. It's good to see guys like James Tisdale, who hasn't, been mentioned all year. He got an interception. I think he had 2 sacks. Super proud of him as well. And Tavian played another great game, and Skylar played another great game. So, I think the defense is coming along. And somebody we haven't talked about, Noah Lachang, who's a sophomore, who played, started the year at JV. And, it's really been a shutdown corner for us this year. A lot of teams try to go at him, but I can't remember a game he's given up more than 2 catches on him. So, he's been playing well. So I think the defense is finally starting to come along and seeing their potential, practicing the way they should be playing. And again today, I thought we had a better practice defensively, and they're starting to speed practice up a little bit. So I think, we'll see a faster defense on Friday this week as well. I'm sorry, Thursday.
Yeah. So I'm looking at, Augie Evans, 6 tackles, Skylar Walker, 6, Enzo Allen, 6, Tavian Talbert, 7, James Tisdale, 7, Nico Townsley and Adrian Romero, 7 tackles, and you have a whole bunch of other folks contributing as well. So, that's super nice. Last week we had double-digit tackles. I think, we had 5 or 6 players had double digits, so super nice. And I'm glad that the tackling has been an emphasis for the team going forward. And so, all they can do is just continue to improve. We know what has happened, and, you guys are still let me ask you. I know last week there were some issues with being at Palms. Where are you guys this week?
We're still at Palms, and
okay.
The problem is they don't have any lights, so daylight savings is this Sunday, so we'll be at another park starting Monday. So we're moving around. Feel like a military kid, just moving from city to city.
A military brat, absolutely.
Right. So that's kind of what it's been like this year.
Yeah, but again, that builds character, not having, and you've said it time and time again about your players, not complaining, just saying, hey, okay, where we go? It's almost like the children of Israel, just wandering from place to place, looking for a place to finally set up and do what is necessary. But I mean, you guys are still 9-0, and so you've been doing that despite not having access to weights and all the extra stuff that comes with having a regular field. So again, I tip my hat to you guys because you guys are doing your doggone thing. Your team has dominated in first downs and time of possession. What does that say about your offensive balance?
It's been good. Like I said, I think we've, each week we try to, each day of each week we try to focus on one part of the game. So Monday might be first down focus, Tuesday might be red zone goal line, and then Wednesday would be third down focus. So each day we just try to, we watch film on, like today we watched first down, just Fairfax's first down defense. And then we went out and just kind of practiced what we want to attack on their first down. Tomorrow will be third down since we have a shorter week. So we'll watch third down tomorrow, and then at practice we'll, run our plays against that. So, like I said, I think we've been more organized with that last week, even before up into that uni game. But this week we had a lot of energy. We're we're really organized today. What we were trying to accomplish on both sides of the ball. So, I think just the kids seeing film, being able to execute it on the field, and then take it into Friday night, I think the game slowed down for them. And, everything we saw on film and we practiced, they saw in the game. So like, oh, okay, we know what we need to do. And I think that helped.
No, that was super, super nice. And then I just want to shout out, let me give you guys some love real quick. So here, I'm giving you some love because Pali only had 5 penalties all night for 35 yards. Let me ask you, are you proud of how well your team showed discipline during the whole game?
Yeah, I mean, it was a clean game. Honestly, I didn't even realize we had those little penalties. So it looked like it was just a couple false starts, no pass interference calls. So, 5 penalties, 5 yards. I think we probably had one holding call. I think we did. I think we had one holding call. So, that's a pretty clean game. And, I know a lot last year, we would have, 200-yard, 75-yard, drive, but 35 yards would be penalty. So, it take away half our yardage. Excuse me. So, having almost 500 yards of offense and only 35 yards of penalties, that's a lot of marching down the field. And,
yeah, absolutely.
A lot of scoring opportunities.
Absolutely. And then as we kind of wrap up this segment, the Friday night, now I put my graphic up there. Let me go ahead and put it up there. A Friday night recap. As we near the postseason, what are you most proud of about how this team keeps finding ways to win?
To be honest, I mean, it's amazing. I wake up every day and I'm just like, how are we 9-0? Because, a lot of teams who haven't gone through what we've gone through struggle, with wins, and us being 9-0 with everything that's going on, it's unbelievable. But it just goes to the character of the kids, them showing up every day and practicing hard, coaches working hard outside of, practice, trying to get this team prepared, and, the parents doing what they do to allow us to be able just to focus on football. And, it's been a group effort throughout this whole program to allow me and allow the coaches to be able to coach football and allow the players to focus on football. So, can't take credit by myself. It's been a group effort, and, we all needed each other, and we've all, just kind of fed off each other. And it's been amazing to kind of see what we've done this year.
Absolutely. No, shout out to you guys for making it this far. And like Kobe said, job's not done
Right.
Job's not done. You know, we can't celebrate. Job's not done. We got one more, and you know, we're going to talk about just the preview on the game against Fairfax that's coming up Thursday at 6:00 at SoFi. But so as we finish up the Friday night nightcap recap, you know, again, congratulations, 46-30 win over Hamilton, and I was just interested to know. If they actually got a brand new field. Now, I know they have lights for the first time in a while, but I did not see the turf that I thought they were going to have. So it looks like they're still playing on grass, correct?
Yeah, it was grass, but it was really nice grass. It was a fast
Okay.
track. You know, no holes.
Okay.
It does when you see it on film, it does look like turf. That's how nice it is. And then um, it's not the grass is not as high,
Okay.
so it looks like when you walk on it, it's like wow, this is kind of rough. But no, they did a really good job,
It
and
was
with
conducive
the
for you
surrounding
guys to play.
buildings.
Cool.
Yeah, so it actually helped us out. You know, we went from Venice a couple of weeks ago where the turf was a little slower for us,
Yeah.
and even Westchester. But no, it's a nice track, and it really it really helps our offense. You know, with all our speed. So
Sure.
I'd love to play on it every week if we could. That's probably have the best grass in the city.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's what's up. That's what's up. Okay. So let's see if we can switch reels. Now I know our JV team, they won against Fairfax, and so because Hamilton does not or did not have a JV team, the thought was to play our JV team play against Fairfax, and so I believe we actually came away with the win. Correct, Coach?
Yes, they pulled it out 7-6. Super proud of them. And at the end of the game, they carried Coach Loftus off on their shoulders, so he got a nice goodbye. And
Man,
Coach
listen,
Medea sent me the picture, so it was good.
Coach Loftus ain't never gonna be. He's probably had about 10 or 15 goodbyes, right?
I think this is it for him, but
Okay, okay, all right.
yeah, I think this is his last run. But no, I was just super happy at how the JV handled themselves. They've been through a lot. They didn't have a head coach all summer.
Mm,
Coach Padilla came in about a week or two before the first game. I
yeah,
think a week almost before the first game, and they won the first game and then had a rough few weeks, but they ended up undefeated in league play. I thought the Venice game was really huge. Venice always has a really good JV team, and so to go undefeated in league and then end on a high note with everything they've gone through, and they've been on different fields and having to bus to different parts of the city away from
yeah,
varsity, and just amazing how they all stuck together and played together, and now they're 2-3 months into high school, having
hmm
to deal with everything they've dealt with and still coming and focusing and winning and getting better each week.
yeah.
I just can't say enough about the JV team. So I'm really excited to see what they're going to do this off season, and when they have a weight room and a real off season, they're gonna be even much better coming out in summer and in August.
Yeah, shout out to all the parents who support. I mean, because again, you got a lot of guys on the varsity, and sometimes JV gets overlooked. And so, just shout out to all of those folks who are working with JV, the parents, especially parents, and also especially the kids, because like you said, coming from middle school, trying to be, the man on campus as a ninth grader is kind of difficult, and then also to play football and then to also not have a permanent place. I mean, again, you talk about resilience and responsibility because, JV players, they have a tend to lose stuff and, but, and then going through not having a real head coach and everything. And then, Coach Loftus coming in again and saving the day. Super dope, for that, for those guys and their families and supporters. So, we thank you, JV squad. Now, are you bringing up any more JV players to as we move into the playoff time of the season?
Yeah, we brought up Jesse Wolfson. We brought up Damari Smith, who was a freshman. Gabe was already brought up. Elios and Randy Garcia, they've been brought up. And Ryan Burnstrand was
Okay.
brought up, and I don't know what I'm forgetting. So I think that's everybody.
Okay.
Yes, pretty much everybody. Yeah. So we brought up about five or six kids.
Okay. That's gonna give them experience being on varsity.
Yep.
And then, when we march on the field, wherever we were gonna play, it's like, man, those guys are big. It's a big squad.
Right.
So, it's almost like, next man up. You gotta come in and play and do your thing. So shout out to JV squad, and we appreciate everyone working with that team. Okay, so I know you're doing like me when I ask you a question.
It's bottom of the night tied up. I'm like peeking over, like waiting for Soney to come up and hit a home run. So.
Listen, we can be like just looking at the game. So in case you missed it, both of us, we have the Dodgers games on our monitor. So that's why you kind of see me looking over here like, what's going on? And then when I'm asking a question to coach, he's kind of looking at his. But yeah, no, I hope they go ahead. And I thought I saw Kershaw warming up too.
You did.
Oh, really? Oh, no. I'm a little nervous about Kershaw. I'm not going to lie.
Well,
Nervous
listen.
in the playoffs.
Let's hope that one of these guys, since we're near the top of the order, let's hope that Paez, hopefully he can hit a home run and at least get on
base.
Yeah, do something. Get on base. Okay. Anyway, all right. So I know y'all like what's going on here. Okay, that's what we're doing. We're kind of watching the Dodger game. Okay. So this week, Pali is of course 9-0. Fairfax is 2-7. Our average point total per game is 41. Their average is 19. Total yards 401 versus theirs 246. Passing for us 307 yards per game, 166 for them. Tackles per game 94. And then this might be a misnomer. I can't see a football team having 8 tackles per game. And if y'all don't believe me, I'm going to show y'all. I think that's, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes MaxPreps is not doing what it's supposed to do. So if y'all think I'm playing around, I'm not. Let me show you these right here. Unless I miss, okay. Okay, now it says 7.3. So y'all think I'm lying over here. I'm going to show you right here. You see it right there. Tackles per game. I don't know where I got 8.3. It's 7.3. That's crazy. So, Coach, what stands out about you? What stands out to you about Fairfax when you watch them on film or when you just look at their stats right now?
Watching my film, I have about 4 or 5 games on them, and it just each week they just get better. They have big athletes. They have big athletes and fast athletes in the linebacking group. So, they're going to give us, they move around really well. I still think we can run the ball and pass the ball on them. So, they beat Uni last week. We struggled with Uni. So I know they're going to be confident, thinking they can come in and, beat us because of that. So we just have to be ready with everything they bring. And I think it's going to be a good game. We're not going to come in here just and take them lightly just because they're 2-7. Like I said, I think they're confident beating Uni and seeing what Uni did to us. So we have to be ready for any and everything they bring.
No, I think that's very, very important. Like we say, on any given Friday, a team who is, 3-2, 1-9, whatever, they can still get up because listen, they're hoping to knock you guys off, being 9-0, right? So they have to. Pali has to play smart, and so I think that's the main thing that the boys have to be aware that they're not going to lay down and be like, okay, we want to be 3-7 on the season. Nah, they got to come and bring it. How do you make sure your players don't overlook this matchup against Fairfax?
Just like I said, they just remind them that, Uni scared us, a lot, and they beat Uni. So we just have to be ready and not take this game for granted. Show them all the good plays and show them how good they are. So, we can be ready. We can't just go there and look at film and say, oh, they're slow or, they're not as good as us. We can go in there and beat them, but show them that they're going to be prepared. They're going to be ready for us. Show them all the good plays, and just be ready for it, whatever they bring to us.
Your offense averages over 300 yards passing per game. What has been the key to the level of consistency throughout the season?
Having a good quarterback, just that always helps.
A healthy quarterback too.
Yeah, healthy, good quarterback. Yes, that's the one place we've been consistent all year is quarterback. We've had injuries everywhere else, but quarterback was been consistent. In our line, I cannot take away from our line. I think there's multiple games we haven't given up any sacks this year. Coach Sir does a great job getting those guys ready and pass blocking. And, I don't think Jack was touched behind the line, maybe one or two times, but for the most part, he had a lot of time to throw the ball and was able to scramble when he needed to. So you got to have a great line, a consistent line, and a consistent quarterback to be able to, put up those kind of numbers.
Yeah, and I think you talked about this earlier when we were talking about the defensive mindset. So defensively, your guys average nearly 100 tackles per game. How do you maintain that mindset every week?
100 tackles seems like a lot to me. I would like to see that number go down. That just means, we're leaving the offense on the field too much. If we can get 3 and outs and limit the number of plays that the offense has, that number should go down. So I'm sure a lot of that is assisted tackles, so it kind of adds up and more than one guy on a tackle. Like I said, if we can limit the number of plays, limit the number of tackles, and we can, that first hit, make that first tackle, I think will be, the defense, the numbers will look different. But
Yeah.
like I said, I like the way we've been playing on defense the last couple of weeks and, playing faster. And I think they're committed to the tackle the past few weeks than they have been early on. So super proud of the defense of how they stepped up lately.
Yeah. Now, are there any matchups that you're looking forward to heading into this game? Now, I know last week against Hamilton, they had the freshman, I think it was Thaddeus Bro, I think was his name. How did he look as their QB? Because he was listed as the guy who did everything. He ran, he threw the ball. How did he look last week? And then, are you looking into any matchups that looking at film that you might see that looks kind of good to just to an average football player or football watcher, someone who watches football?
He's a very young kid. He's a freshman. He has a strong arm. He made a couple of good throws, and the kid's a legit 6'4". So he's going to be a nightmare for the next 3 years for everybody in this league.
Yeah.
For us, we just want to make things uncomfortable, put a lot of pressure on him, make him overthink, so he's not comfortable, and just be able to pick us apart. And I thought we did a great job of that. Like I said, James had a couple of sacks. I think Adrian had a sack. So our D line was able to put pressure on him. But I thought overall he still played a great game. I think he still had 300 yards passing on us.
Yeah, 382.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a great player.
Yeah.
In the next 3 years. But the matchup I'm looking, for Thursday, just kind of see how the defense does again, and I think our D line they had a good practice today. I'm excited to see how they do going in Thursday, and again putting pressure on their quarterback, stopping the run. Just using their ability. I think we have a really good D line. We haven't had their breakout game yet, so I'm really looking forward to them having that breakout game this week.
How important is it to finish strong and protect the perfect season, the perfect record?
I think it's important going into playoffs. It's going to be hard to lose a game and then have to sit on a bye week if we make the open and have to think about it for 2 weeks. But you never want to have that one little blemish. Everything we've gone through this month, it's like having a brand new Bentley and having that scratch, next to the tire. You can't see it,
Mm-hmm.
but you know it's there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we don't want that, and we want to go into the playoffs perfect, going confident, and like I said, everything we've gone through, we want to stay undefeated. I know it's been 4 years since the last undefeated team. So I think a lot of these kids haven't had that perfect season. So I know these seniors want to have that bragging right, as they graduate. And I want to have a perfect season. I've never had a perfect season coaching, so that'd be nice to have as well. But I just think for everybody what's been going on, it'd be great to finish the season perfect and kind of have a storybook ending to the regular season.
Yeah. Yeah. I was reminded yesterday when I was talking to Xavier, he was like, Dad, this, was, he was just, he was saying, Dad, that's not the only team that's been 10-0. I was like, I know, son, I know one of your teams went 10-0. I get it. I get it. I get it. But I was just like, son, you got to think about the circumstances, man. This is a fairy tale storybook season with everything that has happened. I mean, you gotta root for these guys, right? So it's okay to want to preserve the donut. We call it a donut. We want to preserve the donut. Like if it's a game and if it's 25-0, folks want to keep that 0. They don't want the opposite team to score. So we coming to the end of the season, and because it's senior night, right? I'm sure those seniors are extra hyped about preserving the donut and going out with a bang and into the postseason, which we're going to make the postseason. So I know they're super, super happy about getting the win if it's possible. But first, you have to play the game. And you guys have prepared the boys and continue to prepare the boys for what's ahead. So congratulations on that. What would you say? Last question as we begin to wrap up. What would you say to Pali Dolphin Nation heading into Thursday night's game at SoFi at 6? What would you say? If you imagine yourself as Deion Sanders standing in Colorado University's main field and you got the microphone. What would you say to the Dolphin Nation? Got it.
So yeah, I saw I saw the out, but sorry, can you repeat the question? I apologize.
Man, I threw you. I tossed it up for you. Okay, no. If you had the microphone, if you were Deion Sanders standing in Colorado's, the stadium is packed with Dolphin Nation, and you got the microphone, what would you say to the Dolphin Nation going into this week's football game against Fairfax?
I just, hopefully we've made everybody proud. I think everybody should be proud of what the players have done. I told the JV parents last night, in normal circumstances, it's hard to win one game, and they won 4 games and went undefeated. And with what we've gone through, and to be able to go 9-0 and the possibility of going 10-0, I don't know what the highest seed ever has been for Palisades, but we have a chance to be a top 3 seed in the open division, which means we're in the top 2-3 city teams in the whole city. With what I think for every field we've played on, we've won a game. We'll be on our 9th field going on Monday, and being 9-0, 10-0
That's
would
crazy.
be an amazing, amazing historical thing for this program. And it's not just this team's accomplishment; it's this whole program, this whole community's accomplishment. And we want to make the community and Palisades, the city of Palisades, proud of what we're doing. Proud to say they live in Palisades. I was in Costco last week, and I had my Palisades sweater on, and like 2 different people came up to me and said they still live in the community, and they've been watching us and how proud they are of what we've done this year. So just be able to walk around the city with my Palisades gear on and have people come up to me and say how proud they are. They don't know me personally, but they know the football team and they know the program and they've seen us and be able to say how happy they are to say that they're part of the city or the school. It just makes me smile. So, just again, thank you for everybody for their support. And I know it's going to be a big crowd Thursday, and I hope everybody can make it out and support the boys. People don't see it up close, but they're really working hard, and you can see sometimes how tired they are. They never give up. They still come back each day and want to practice and be around the team. So, I hope we can make this season perfect for everybody, and then going into playoffs, make everybody proud, and hopefully hoist up a trophy this year. Came short last year, so we want to do it this year, and being able to do it in the open for the first time ever would be, a movie. So
Yeah.
just thank you everybody.
Yeah. No, so here's my two closing thoughts, man. Going back to what you said about, going to everybody's, stadium except for us when we went to Santa Monica. Those were considered our our home games. But just looking back at all the places we've gone, Harvard Westlake, we played Granada Hills at Santa Monica, Brentwood, El Camino Real, Mary of the Star, Westchester, Venice, Uni, Hamilton. I mean, man, that's super. And my wife says this. She's like, "You say super too much." In this case, I don't care. This is super dope, man. And then here's something we haven't even discussed, Coach. We haven't discussed anything about league champions.
Right.
It's like, forget the league champions. We thinking about what's on the other side of the 9-1 or 10-0. So
Yeah, we clinched a share of the title on Friday, and I told the kids how super proud I was of them, but they're looking at the bigger picture. It'll be official if we win Thursday, but these kids really want to go to the Open and win city. So, it's nice to win league, but we've been harping ever since spring and summer. We want city, we want region, we want state. So that's been the goal all year, and that's what the kids are really focused on.
Man, listen, as we both kind of peer out into what's going on with the Dodgers, I'm just looking back at the score, our league games, right? So 35-19 against Westchester, 56-54 against Venice, 19-17 versus Uni, 46-30 versus Hamilton. I mean, that's some impressive stuff. So, yeah, I think top three definitely in the city. And so that guarantees, hopefully, we get this win on Friday. That does guarantee a perfect season and probably a top 1 or 2 seed in the city. So, that's super nice, man. And then I will say this personally, driving by, went to go see nephew play on Friday, and we drove. It took us through down PCH past Temescal, and I hadn't been down that way since everything happened. And I was just almost brought to tears just seeing the devastation. And, my heart kind of sank because seeing it, on the news, online, it's cool. But seeing it up front, it's like, man, this is real devastating. So I'm hoping that the boys are using that as motivation to get through and do whatever they need to do in the playoffs. So I'll just say congratulations, Coach. It's been a wonderful, wonderful season. And as we close up, I think you sent me a link. Riley says Thursday at 6. Okay, I might keep flip-flopping. If you're watching, let me just flip this real quick. If you're watching this broadcast, the game, our final game of the season, is this coming Thursday at SoFi at 6 o'clock, which is our senior night. And so we're going to be celebrating our seniors and having a wonderful time. And I believe, which football organization this time, Coach, has extended the door for us to play on the field at SoFi?
The LA Chargers, again, came through for us, and um, it's like every time they do something, I'm like, what else can they do to up themselves? And they did it again. So
Yeah.
they're hosting us. Like I said, they're giving all the proceeds that ticket sales and everything back to the program. So
Super
shout
nice.
out to the LA Chargers and Zach, who's been our liaison with the Chargers. Just super. I'm using your word now. just, just been super nice to us and accommodating. So I really
Yeah.
appreciate what they've done throughout this whole year.
Absolutely. And I know you being not a Charger, a Raider fan, you're probably
Don't
a
tell
fan.
them.
Okay, I
I
won't
don't
say
want them to find out, and they won't help us anymore.
mum's the word. Mum's the word. So yeah, hey guys, just come on out this coming Thursday, 6:00 SoFi. And can tickets still be purchased on GoFan?
No, it's Ticketmaster. So if you
Ticketmaster.
go to Ticketmaster, and I don't know if you go to the Chargers or actually, I can send you the link right now.
Okay.
I'll send you
Okay.
the link right now, and but it is through Ticketmaster. I believe you can just search Palisades versus Fairfax, and it should come up.
Okay, cool. And then as you send that over, I'm also going to drop a link. Let me see. I think you dropped the link for, I believe, Coach of the Week. Is that what it was? You were nominated for by the Chargers, looks like, as the Coach of the Week, correct?
Yeah. So 2 years ago, I was voted Coach of the Week for Week 9, and this week I was nominated for Coach of the Week.
Okay.
LA Chargers Coach of the Week, Week 9. So,
Okay.
um, you know, please vote if you can. The best thing that happens, we get $1,000 goes to our program. So that's really what I'm more excited about than anything. I honestly don't care about the accolades, but if anytime anything that can help support the program, I'm all for it.
Okay. So I'm looking at, did they nominate you for week 8 or week 9? Do you know?
Week 9, I think the voting
Okay.
starts tomorrow and ends Wednesday at midnight, I
Okay,
believe.
cool. So then the link that I have, I will post it. Right now, it's showing that it's not open as of yet, but I
Yeah, it was
will.
tomorrow.
Yeah. So let me just show you what it looks like, and I can drop that link in the chat as well. So tomorrow, of course, we'll put that on our social media as well. So this is the
It
Coach of the
opens at
Week.
8 a.m. tomorrow.
8 a.m. Okay. So this is what it looks like. And so beginning 8 a.m. tomorrow, you can vote as much as you want, as many times as you want. So please, we'll drop the link. These are the winners for week 8. And it's going to be the same link that's going to go out. It should be active tomorrow morning. So you'll see Coach Smith's name somewhere on here for Chargers Coach of the Week, week 8 for Los Angeles. So week 9, I'm sorry, week 9. So you'll see that. So I'm going to copy this link and then I'm just going to drop it in the chat just in case someone who is watching, they can vote tomorrow beginning at 8:00 in the morning. So here we go.
And I sent you the link for Ticketmaster as well.
Okay, cool. So we got that one. Okay. All right. I see Amber. She drops something this Sunday. I'm not too sure what that is. But okay, so that's mine. And then the second one, I'm gonna drop the other link as well. So let me get that one. How's the Dodgers doing? Are they still tied up, huh, Coach?
Tied up 2 outs, man on first,
Okay.
0-2.
All right. So we're both over here Dodger fans. Multitasking. Okay, so I'm going to drop this link for the tickets right there. And it should be, okay, so there we go. So as you can see on the screen there, Palisades versus Fairfax, October 30th, 6 p.m. kickoff. Gates open at 5 p.m. And I'm just wondering which gate would you enter in? And I'm sure hopefully that
I think it says Gate 4. I know parking's
Yes.
free in the brown zone, and I think
There you go.
Gate 4 is the entrance. Yeah.
Yes. So gate 4, and parking is free in the brown zone. I know the brown zone is right off of Pinkai. So if you know where the Forum is, it's the street between the Forum and SoFi. That main street is Pinkai. That's where you can enter and park at in the brown zone. And I know that because I live next door to SoFi. So it'd be an easy walk for me. I'm gonna walk over and be like, "Hey, I don't have to." Anyway, I'm gonna have this is I'm gonna enjoy this game. So super nice, Coach. Before we keep rambling, any last words that you want to say as we close up the show?
Please come out and support the seniors. They've gone through COVID and they've gone through fires, and it'd be really nice for them to have a great send off for the last technically home game. Um, you know, they've been working super hard, not just the singers, but the whole team. So please come out and support them. It's SoFi. It's going to be a great atmosphere. I already know it's going to be a lot of people there, but the more the merrier. It's going to be a great game. I think it's going to be an exciting game. So again, bring your voice, bring it, and then leave it there. Be as loud as you can, and please really support these players who have been working hard, and even the coaches who've been working hard all season long. So we're ready for the playoffs. Again, I think it's just going to just being at SoFi. It's just going to be a great atmosphere. So come have some fun with Pali and enjoy the game.
Absolutely. And if you're asking, the tickets look like they're $10, and I'm sure there might be some fees unless the Chargers or Ticketmaster are waiving those fees. So it's $10 per ticket, which is pretty nice because I know GoFan was like $12 or $15. So this is definitely a discount, but I'm not too sure about the fees. So come on out. Palisades versus Fairfax at SoFi Stadium, 6 o'clock this coming Thursday. Gates open at 5 p.m. Coach, I appreciate you hanging on tonight. Do me a favor. As we're looking at this commercial, I'm going to put you in the green room, and then we're going to wrap up the show, okay? So thanks for being here, and hopefully next week we can talk about being undefeated. So let's see.
Undefeated and back-to-back champions. Dodgers.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. All right, hold on, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Absolutely. All right, so there you go, guys. A wonderful show, man. I know we're kind of we had split attention, not really in our Pali bag, but really we were, but we're also baseball fans, and we're kind of concerned about our Dodgers because they're tied going into extra innings. So it's top of the 11th. 5-5, and I'm hoping that the Dodgers win. But I'm also really hoping that we can be undefeated for the season and then look forward to the playoffs and everything that has to offer. So again, on behalf of Coach Smith, we look forward to seeing you this coming Thursday, 6 o'clock SoFi against Fairfax. Come on out, and we're going to have a wonderful, wonderful time. Tickets are $6, and we dropped the link in the chat so you can click on those links. Plus, I'm sure we're going to put those out on social media as well. And then the last thing, beginning tomorrow morning at 8 a.m., you can begin voting for Coach Smith. And I believe this vote is open for a few days, so maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and then they'll shut it down again, and then they'll tabulate and see who the Chargers Coach of the Week is. And again, with that comes $1,000 for the football program. So let's do our best to put Pali on the map again like we did before a few seasons ago. Other than that, I am Mr. Riley, signing off from the West Coast, the best coast, the West Side, and I'm hoping that the West Side, meaning the Dodgers, get this win tonight. All right, thanks for watching. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell, and you'll be notified next time we drop a brand new video. Peace out, y'all. See you Thursday.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crowd from seeing to believing. Got a taste for blood and my tongue keeps bleeding.